You lie still. The house exhales. Streetlights hum. Everything around you simplifies to quiet. But inside your head, the volume turns up. A single thought catches a spark. It branches, it multiplies. You are suddenly wide awake with 1,000 small fires. Why does this happen? Why does silence feel like an invitation? Because night is when the world stops talking back. During the day, you survive on distraction. Noises, messages, deadlines, conversations and traffic and the hum of screens. Each interruption is a little bandage over an unfinished thing. You carry fragments of thoughts in your pocket and don't open them. You move from task to task, letting the day do the sorting for you. The brain is built to prioritize what grabs attention, so it files feelings under later and leans into the next urgent beep. Daylight is a busy room where your mind can whisper and no one listens. Then the lights go down. The room becomes a bowl that holds sound. External noise collapses. Without the daytime barrage, the unattended things resurface. Unresolved conversations, unpaid emotional bills. You taste silence and find it bittersweet. Your mind, suddenly unoccupied, begins to process what you postponed. It rehearses clips of shame and longing and things you promised yourself you'd address. These thoughts aren't new. They were only politely cued behind everything else. There's also biology working against you. Fatigue isn't just sleepiness. It dulls your prefrontal cortex, your rational governor. That part of your brain keeps emotions in check. When it slows, worries feel louder, bigger, more real. Late at night, your emotional volume knob is stuck on high. A small worry blooms into catastrophe. That anxious whisper becomes a roaring replay. Words you said, words you didn't say, the future you can't see, all exaggerated. You mistake tired intensity for actual danger. The result, feelings that overwhelm the very part of you that could soothe them. Think about the scenes that keep you awake. You replay an awkward conversation on loop. You imagine what-if scenarios for a job, a relationship, a choice. You sift regrets like old receipts. You map out worst-case endings and practice them in the dark. These nocturnal vignettes feel cinematic because your attention has nothing else to do. Your brain is a storyteller, and in the quiet, it writes dramatic drafts. It's not out to hurt you, it's catching up. It's trying to understand what you ignored between meetings, between messages, between chores. Those replays are your mind's attempt at emotional housekeeping. Sometimes it cleans gently. Sometimes it scrubs too hard. So what do you do when the soundtrack gets overwhelming? First, recognize the pattern. Name the sound: rehearsal, regret, fear. That recognition is a small, steady anchor. Second, remember fatigue magnifies everything. A worry at 2 a.m. often shrinks in daylight. Third, give your brain a tiny job before lights out. Write one sentence. Breathe. Set a small boundary. 10 minutes to think, then closure. Grounding practices work because they reintroduce structure to the quiet. You can also schedule a worry time in the afternoon. Let your mind do its work when you have more energy and control. This is not avoidance. It's rescheduling the meeting with your thoughts. Be gentle with yourself. You aren't broken for noticing the night gets loud. You are human, built to process a torrent of feelings. Sometimes your brain holds onto things like a tight fist, waiting for the right time to let go. Night simply hands it the stage. And there is comfort in understanding that volume alone doesn't equal strength. It often equals opportunity. Opportunity for the emotions you pushed aside to finally be seen, for reflection, for repair. You have been living in a world that never stops. When it finally does, all the unattended small things come forward to be heard. Ask yourself, are your thoughts louder at night because they're stronger, or because it's finally quiet enough to hear them?